Hello to my beautiful, courageous, and wonderful family of light. Yes, that means you. Welcome to my channel. My name is Claudia, and I'm happy to have you here. My channel is all about you being way more than you think you are. And if you'd like to know more about that, then stick around. I'm in the process of doing a series of videos about how I came about this knowing, and it starts at the very early stages of my life and the things that get hidden and buried away, and as they begin to unfold and they come into your awareness, and it's all about me becoming consciously aware of that and then learning to utilize those gifts that are imparted to you from our Creator. So I am at chapter 20, about to start 20 today. In the last chapter, I left you with my newfound hiking companion and wonderful, wonderful person. This person, in fact, had classes with Albert Einstein, if you can imagine. What an intriguing and wonderful person he was, and it was a great gift for me to be blessed with a friendship with somebody so interesting. And I'm a curious person, and he and I fed on each other because of that. So that was good for me in a brand new place. And so I'm going to move on from there. We went through a summer, that first summer of 1991. Spring, summer, and fall, hiking, fishing, seeing movies, going to dinner, and we just never ran out of anything to talk about. But the fall came, my son came for a visit, and that winter, I had a feeling I should go home back to my hometown for Christmas. And I don't really have a reason, that's the stuff that that guides you. It's like I really feel you can't shake it. It stays with you. I think I need to do this. And so I said about that. And lucky for me, I always had a couple of weeks off from where I worked over the Christmas holiday. So I set out on the drive home with my books on tape at that time. I picked up some that were really long and had a great time. But you also have time to be with your thoughts. And knowing I was going home to my mother, my family, my siblings, all the nieces and nephews that I adored so much, and getting to have extra time with my son, that was a special treat. My mother was always someone who, because of her mentality, and I probably took after her more than anybody with my curious nature, the things that I like to do and try, but Mom never ran out of ideas. We would go shopping in the fall for books, hundreds of books. She'd keep the lists started after she'd finished, or really when the new season started, New York Times bestsellers, and all the different places that she could come up with, and she started lists. Well, anyhow, I knew I was heading home, and she was a fabulous entertainer and hostess. Did wonderful things. When we were kids, she would cook with mushrooms, and the kids who didn't think they liked them, she would just tell them they were peanuts, not to worry about it. She was very creative. So I go home and I have Christmas with Mom, and because normally I would go visit my siblings and spend some time with each of them, this time I stayed on the floor in a sleeping bag in Mom's little apartment that she had. And we had everybody came to see me, or we went to see them, and then of course Christmas is coming. Before Christmas, Mom was having coronary bypass surgery, and this was to be her second surgery. Now, Mom was a smoker, heavy smoker, and drinker, and her health wasn't really all that great. But the visit that we had with the doctor was that she was in really good health and good spirits. And those two things combined, helped to ensure a successful surgery. So, all the children gathered for this big family meeting with the doctor, and we got all the scoop, all the information we needed, and then everybody scattered. And let's see, I think that was might have been the week before Christmas that we had this set up. And we got her instructions for no resuscitation. And that was one thing that one of my siblings just really struggled with. And of course, it's not an easy thing when your potential is that you're going to lose a parent. Surgeries are always like that. You never know how they're going to go. So with that in mind, just keeping those things in mind, I spent a lot of time with Mom. We had Christmas, and the dinners, she didn't do dinner anymore. She just didn't have the strength and energy, and all the families had their families to tend to. But she always hosted wonderful hors d'oeuvres and cookies. I mean, she baked like crazy. There was always something special, some special treats for the kids, and us big kids liked that too. And so we had a nice, fun time around Mom's that particular Christmas. After that, and things died down a little bit for a day, I took Mom on 2 outings. One of them was shortly after Christmas. I took her out to the beach, actually to the Puget Sound, to a little cafe out there where we had breakfast. And when breakfast was over, and we were having our coffee and just talking, I hauled out a paper and a pencil, and I said, "Now, Mom," I said, "I want you to tell me what you want each of the kids to have." And because, they're my grandfather's, her father's tool chest that he built, this little hand-tooled thing that he had made, and, things like that. Mother was a wonderful collector. She loved handmade artisan things. Now, it could have been carvings, weavings, textiles. It did not matter what the genre was. She loved everything from art down to, little whittled whistles. And so she just looked at me and caught her breath for a minute. And I said, "It's okay." I said, "We don't even have to do this now, but I want you to know something's up. And, if you don't know what it is, that's fine. I just want you to know I'm here." So she hung on to that for a few days, and we took a drive. This is before I leave. Now, between Christmas and New Year's, because New Year's, I was leaving New Year's Day to come back to where I lived. We drove down Woodby Island. Now, if you don't know anything about Woodby Island, look it up on Google, because Woodby is full of fabulous things, all the way from an orange liqueur and rhododendron gardens. There's big, beautiful views of the Straits of Juan de Fuca, Canada, and Washington State, the little arm that sticks up. Beautiful waters, and when it's sunny, everything sparkles. It's like glitter. Everything is so gorgeous. So we had this just a little trip, and it was really only so that we could just have downtime and breathing room. And so when we got back, she and I had supper. It was either that day or the day later before I left. And after dinner, we were sharing a brandy, and there was this long silence, and Mom said, "I don't want to die by a stroke." So there it was, out in the open, something that had been within her that she was aware of, that I had in some way tapped into a feeling she was having, but did not know what that represented, and now I knew. We were able to talk about that to some extent when you don't know what's coming tomorrow or the day after, or, a week down the road or a month. You have to honor whatever is going on inside that person. There's no reason to try and stop it. I'd learned that a long time ago. So, Mom was having bypass surgery. New Year's was on a Wednesday. It takes me 2 days to get home, so it meant that I left the 1st. It meant that I would get back into Wyoming on the 3rd, which was, I think it was a Friday. And so I let her know, that I was home, and, and all was well. And on Sunday, I got a call from Mom. And she said, I don't want you to come right away. And whatever came out of me that I remember exceptionally clearly was, it's okay, Mom. I'll know when to come. And with that, it was an understanding between us. We've completed our call concluded it. And on Monday, she had surgery. And the surgery went very well. She came out. She knew who she was. She was in the operational recovery place. And I get a call from my brothers. And in that call, they said, Mom has had a little stroke. And they're saying it's okay, she'll be fine, but she's right now not able to say anything. And so I said, okay. So I immediately remembered I would know when to come, and that's what I said to my brothers. So I'm going to conclude this episode here, because the next piece is a pretty remarkable thing, and I want to share that with you too, and I'm not sure how long that will take. So thank you for joining me. As you can see, now this is another part of this story. I'm a little over a year into new location, not knowing why I was there. I'm meeting people synchronistically, very easily, and I'm falling into things. I'm aware that I need to make this trip at Christmas, and so I do, and here we are, having this little conversation and seeing the family, and so the next piece is quite remarkable, and I think you'll be intrigued as well. I want to thank you for joining me and allowing me to share my story with you. I'm hoping, beyond anything else, that you're seeing behind my story. I'm an ordinary person like you. What maybe, if there's anything, it doesn't set me apart. It's just that I acknowledged when something was going on and I could feel it strongly. I acknowledged it, and I sat with it and allowed it to unfold before me. And so it's another leap of faith. You don't know. We don't know when we wake up the next day what our day is, how it's going to unfold, right? We do not. And nobody knows that more clearly than I do. There's a lot coming up in this next few years, and it opens up a whole new being that has been locked inside of me. So I hope you'll join me. Thank you for liking and subscribing and sharing. Those are the things that affect this channel and allow the information to get out. I hope you have your paper and pencil and that it's triggering some things for you too. You may not have been aware that it was your inner guidance system that was trying to get in touch with you before. So until we meet again, I want you to know I love you. This is a whole bunch, right? These arms go around you and around this earth. Our Mother Earth provides us with so much, and I hope you're good stewards of it, as I try to be. So until we meet again, stay safe, be happy, be well, and know that you are way more than you think you are. And until next time, thank you for joining me.